Established in March 2008, the Taiwan's Women's Center is the first center designed specifically for women across Taiwan. It provides Taiwanese women a comfortable place to attend workshops or engage in discussions or reading. It also serves as a platform for women's groups or local women's centers to conduct dialogues on gender equality policies with the government. In addition, this center provides a window for enhancing the communication between Taiwan and the international community on a variety of gender issues. In recent years, we have displayed the development of gender equality in Taiwan through thematic exhibitions. Also, we facilitate international exchanges on gender equality policies in hopes that Taiwan will learn from other countries and be a source of inspiration for the world. The center would not be here without the pioneering advocates for women's rights from several generations ago. Now, let's take a look at the women's rights movements across the globe and how the Taiwan Women's Center has evolved. In the wake of World War II, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was proclaimed by the UN General Assembly in 1948, which read, "Everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration, without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political, or other opinion." The Constitution of the Republic of China, Taiwan of 1947 also stipulated that all citizens, irrespective of sex, religion, race, class, or party affiliation, should be equal before the law. However, in the 1950s, many adopted daughters were abused at home or even sold by their adoptive parents to other households. Lu Jinhua, a member of the Provincial Council, founded the Adopted Daughters Protection Committee to help solve this widespread problem. The committee resolved tens of thousands of such disputes through negotiation and terminated the suffering of adopted daughters in adoptive families or even brothels. Lu, meanwhile, set up the Home for Adopted Daughters and called for support of the promulgation of regulations governing the rights of adopted daughters in Taiwan Province. Later, adopted daughters were given inheritance rights and freedom of marriage by the law. After nearly 20 years of advocacy efforts in society, the folk customs regarding adopted daughters slowly disappeared and became history. In the 1970s, Lu Shoulian, Annette Lu, proposed a new concept to be a person, then be a man or woman in her new feminism. Then Lu recruited the efforts of Xu Shiqing, Cao Yufan, Wang Huiyin, Wang Zhongping, and Chen Yunying to build the Pioneer Press to advocate for women's rights, hoping that words could be brandished like a sword. Later, Lu was sent to prison after the Formosa incident. Other comrades such as Li Yuanzhen, Cao Ailan, Zhang Zhihui, Liu Yushou, and Yu Meinu decided to start the Awakening magazine. The publication of this magazine helped to raise the awareness of more women and encourage them to get involved in the women's movement. In 1987, some female workers at the Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall held a press conference rallying with other women's organizations to expose that they had to quit their jobs once they got married or pregnant or reached the age of 30. Their protest won sympathy and support from society and prompted the drafting of the Actor of Gender Equality in Employment. In the following year, many women advocates, indigenous groups, human rights activists, and church members joined the Huaxi Street March. These efforts brought an array of problems: gender, minority issues, and human trafficking created by a wealthier society to the attention of the government and the public. Later, a series of programs like the Teenage Girls Tracking and Reporting System, Dropouts Reporting and Counseling, and Prevention of Child Prostitution from the public sector were launched to protect children, especially teenage girls. The lifting of martial law led to a rapid rise of activist groups that advocate for the rights of different women's groups. From this time onwards, the women's rights movement entered a new era where numerous voices could be heard. In 1996, a longtime women's rights activist, Hong Wan-ru, was murdered the day before a Congress of her Democratic Progressive Party was to be held. She was then the head of the DPP Department of Women's Development and actively endorsed the provisions governing the 1/4 of seats reserved for women. Women's groups were united for a Reclaim the Night March in commemoration of Peng, asking for women's political participation and appealing to the authorities to pay attention to violence against women. In the wake of the Peng Wan-Ru incident, many reforms were drafted and administered. By the end of 1996, the Legislative Yuan passed the Sexual Assault Crime Prevention Act. In 1997, the Executive Yuan established the Committee of Women's Rights Promotion, a central-level policy responsible for protecting women's rights and gender equality. This committee was comprised of heads of government agencies, advocates from women's groups, and experts and scholars. Its aim was to promote women's rights and gender mainstreaming. The next year, through a government subsidy, the Foundation of Women's Rights Promotion and Development was founded. The foundation serves as a platform where civil society and the government may have conversations and women have access to participation in gender equality policy formulation and decision-making. The foundation also facilitates exchanges between local and foreign women's organizations and showcases the advances of women's rights in Taiwan. Thanks to the concerted effort made by the Committee of Women's Rights Promotion Executive Yuan and Foundation for Women's Rights Promotion and Development, the Taiwan Women's Center was established by early 2008. This is a remarkable achievement. We have finally got a room of our own. Under the cooperative efforts of women's groups and the public sector, we have seen delightful progress in women's rights and gender equality over the last years. In 2012, the Department of Gender Equality Executive Yuan was founded, and the Enforcement Act of CEDAW took effect. From this time onward, gender equality became a well-defined task with its own budget and task force, and is making progress in all areas. When measured by the Gender Inequality Index developed by the UN, Taiwan was ranked 10th globally in 2022. Nearly 90% of Taiwanese women have access to higher education. The women's labor force climbed to 51.8% in 2023. Women's participation and influence have been continually increasing in society in recent years. In 2016, Taiwan elected its first female president, with the share of female legislators reaching 42%. Many staunch allies of the women's movement have been elected to parliament. It is our hope that the global commitment to 50-50 by 2030 can be implemented at a faster rate in Taiwan to ensure that all women, regardless of their age class, ethnic group, sexual orientation, or gender identity, can realize their own rights. Ultimately, Taiwan will be heading toward a more equal, safe, and innovative society where diversity and sustainability will be achieved. This journey, started by the Taiwanese people several generations ago, has been a difficult one, yet full of memorable stories along the way. The Taiwan Women's Center will seek more effective ways to pass the torch to younger generations and connect communities advocating for women's rights at home and abroad. Taiwan Women's Center.